Hello everybody, welcome to the Luxury Residential Resorts video series. We're going to be putting out videos at least once a week and really talking about different things that we do as a company and ways that we differentiate from the rest of the industry so that we could really talk about how we're going to be the best option for your property. So thank you very much for joining us today. All these videos will be about 5 to 10 minutes. We want to keep them short and sweet and right to the point. So let me jump in. Today we're going to be talking about our team, because I think that's really the biggest thing that differentiates us from the rest of the market, that in our marketing approach. But our team really will paint the picture of how we're an extremely professional organization with a lot of different dynamics, a lot of different people that bring different skill sets to the table to make sure that we are able to be a master of all things needed to maximize the return on investment and the success of your property in this resort. So thank you again for joining us. My name is Nick Falcone, and I'm the owner of Luxury Residential Resorts and Rental. So again, thank you. So our team, first and foremost, it's important to note that we already have an established infrastructure in this market. If you look at right down the street, Encore Resort at Reunion, we have a team right now of 185 individuals dedicated to the property, dedicated to our infrastructure and making sure that the property is a success. We love to make sure that every property we do, we have a dedicated team. We run these like resorts. We are not a property management company. We like to have it where each resort has a specific team trained in those brand standards, knows the resort like the back of their hand, and is available at all times to fulfill their functionality and execute at the highest level possible. So let's jump right in. I want to talk about our team. I want to educate you on what we have as for a team and the infrastructure that's going to be supporting your property. So first, talking about operations, we have a VP of operations, Peter, and Peter has been in the industry for many, many years. He's leading our entire operational push. And so some of the departments that he manages would be, for example, our facilities department. So facilities really manages all maintenance, anything that has to do with maintaining the property, maintaining the facilities that we have, making sure that everything is kept to the proper standard and making sure that the units, as well as our offices, any kind of common area facilities are really maintained to the highest level possible. We also, under that, have a full maintenance team. The maintenance team is on site 24 hours a day. So just like a hotel, something breaks, something happens, we want that person to be available, not have to wait till the next day or wait till a weekday, which a lot of property management do not have people on the weekends. We are 24 hours, 7 days a week, there for our guests, there for our owners. We want everything to be a quick turnaround if anything does go wrong with maintenance of the unit. We also have a full rent-ready team. So I touched on this in one of our earlier videos, but with that being said, the rent-ready team will be responsible for making sure that everything that happens prior to the home coming online, whether it be working with the furniture company to make sure the furniture is installed properly, or setup of utilities or setup of licenses, there's a whole list of items. That rent-ready team will be responsible for making sure that's all done properly. We have a full housekeeping team as well in our operations department. And so again, every single time a unit is turned, we want that house cleaned immediately. We want to be able to put back-to-back bookings into that unit. And so the day that someone checks out, we want to welcome new guests, be able to turn that unit quickly. So we have a housekeeping team with hundreds of individuals that work on different properties around Kissimmee, and we will be able to address any housekeeping needs day of and really get that house turned quickly so that there's no downtime for the unit. We also have a guest service ambassador team. So anything guest interaction wise, whether it be meeting them at the front desk and touring them to the unit, which we do for every single guest. We also help them with luggage. People might need more towels. They might want to call our dispatch line and call in something for maintenance, whatever it is. We have a full dispatch team, full guest service ambassador team that will fulfill all of that functionality and always be there for the guests and owners to make sure that their experience is perfect and all needs and desires are being met and exceeded. On top of that, our operations team also has a quality control aspect. So even though housekeeping and maintenance are going into every single unit, we also want to have a third eye, let's call it, similar to a hotel where after those teams leave the unit, Our quality control team will go in and make sure everything is perfect to standard and meeting the expectations. And then finally, we have our front desk and front office team. So we will be running a 24-hour front desk, and we will have that dedicated team there at all times so that there's never that time where a renter says, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. They're always going to have a front desk to check in at, and they will always have someone available to tour them to the unit to make sure that they know exactly where to go and exactly how the process works for check-in and arrival. So that's our operations team. Next, let's talk about our sales team, and that starts with the people you are all interacting with now, which would be our contract sales team, and that would be made up of Steve and Keith. And Steve and Keith are really there to educate all of you on our program, present to you about our program, and really help you understand why we are the best option for your property and why we will perform the best and provide the best service and provide the best returns for your property. So hopefully Steve and Keith have been interacting with all of you, and if you have any questions, they're the best people to ask so that they can answer any questions that you do have. Going to more of rental sales now, we have a full group and wholesale team. That team right now is made up of 10 individuals, 6 of which are managers on site for group. We also have 3 individuals that are international sales executives that are in South America as well as the UK markets. And we also have a sports tourism expert that really helps us generate business from the sports tourism world. So that 10-person team is dedicated to group and wholesale as well as sales to make sure that we have a really dedicated team to bring that business in and making sure we're capitalizing on that side of the world when it comes to marketing and sales. We do have a full marketing team in-house. So that includes an in-house designer that could do photography, videography, web design, banner ads, collateral, you name it. We can create it in-house. And we could also do from there PR in-house. We have a PR individual that does all of our PR in-house and really takes everything that we're doing, brings that to news channels to increase our exposure. And then we also have somebody that does our social media in-house. So all of our posts, all of our boosting of posts, and anything that has to do with social media would be controlled in-house. On top of that, we have our VP of Revenue. And our VP of Revenue is there to make sure that we're maximizing the revenue in the units. One of our future videos will really go in depth into our revenue process and how we manage the revenue. So I won't go into detail on that, but we have great experience in that department. And our VP of Revenue actually comes from the Ritz-Carlton world and was one of their regional directors. And actually one of the hotels she managed for revenue management was the highest grossing Ritz-Carlton in the world. So we have a great experience from that team, which is super important for all of us to make sure that we're maximizing that top line. We do also have a dedicated online travel agency team. So a team that will just go out and make sure that we're connecting with all of the online travel agencies, ranging from the ones traditional for vacation home like Airbnb and HomeAway, all the way to the more hotel traditional channels such as Expedia, Booking.com, Orbitz, you name it. Channels you probably never heard of, such as C-Trip and all kinds of different ones that are out there. We also have an in-house call center. So with our call center, a lot of companies outsource, and then this outsourced call center company is dealing with hundreds of properties around the world that they've never seen or touched. We have a huge pride in the fact that our call center is here in Kissimmee. They're in-house. They're trained on each one of our properties. They visit each one of our properties, and they're really trained on how to sell our properties specifically. We have a financial analyst that will look at all of the financial statements to the owners and make sure that we are every month looking at how we can optimize ROI and better returns for the owners, and meet with all these different departments to come up with strategies to be able to do that. We also have a full HR team, which isn't too important to you guys, but it's important to us to make sure that we're maintaining a great culture as an organization and making sure that the best individuals are in place for the job. On top of that, we have an IT team as well. So anything that happens from an IT perspective, we have the ability to troubleshoot and correct immediately, which is very important when it comes to hospitality because there's so many different systems in place that manage the business. We also have a purchasing director. So everything that happens in our units, from the soaps to the garbage bags to the dish soap to linens, you name it, all of that's ordered by one individual for buying power and making sure that we're optimizing pricing for those items. And then really, the key person, the key team that I want to talk about that's very important to you guys is we have a dedicated owner ambassador team. And so that will be your point contact. So when you sign a contract with our contract sales team and you're now part of the LRR family, we want to immediately have it where you have a point contact, someone that you know you can go to for any questions, any needs, talking about financial statements, creating a booking for you to book your own unit. We want you to know exactly who to go to and never have that question of where do I go? I can't get a hold of someone. I don't know how to get questions answered on my unit. We will make sure that the day you sign, you were given, provided the contact information and introduced to that owner ambassador that will be responsible for your property. And that way you never have that question mark on where do I go? So that's our team. I think you'll find that there's nothing like it in this industry. And we are really, really excited because in 2 weeks we'll be moving into our new office at Margaritaville, and we will be extending an invitation sometime in mid-November to have a grand opening kickoff party so that hopefully you all can come out, meet the team firsthand, and really talk to them about what they do and how they will impact your investment and really make your property a success. So we look forward to inviting all of you to that event and hopefully seeing you all in person. So we have the opportunity to meet and greet and shake some hands and really get to know you, and vice versa, allow you to get to know us and have that comfort factor with all of us, having a big part of making this a success for you. So thank you. It's a pleasure to meet all of you, and we look forward to doing more of these videos so you can learn more about our program. We should be putting out one of these every single week, if not more. So please tune in, and we look forward to doing more of these for you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.